Hey, hey. Okay, we are live. We are live. So, I am really excited to be here with you guys today. And if you are a Black woman entrepreneur, you are going to want to watch this and share this with every single person you know. So, come on in. Let's get into the details. Okay. So, if you're a Black woman expert who is absolutely excellent at what you do, but exhausted from being the only one who can sell it, stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to show you how one woman went from mixing hair care products in her kitchen to building a beauty empire worth millions of dollars. And I'm not talking about like 1 million or 2 million. We're talking about in today's money, she would have built a $100 million empire. And she did not do it by working more hours, but by turning her method into a school and her students into a sales force. So if you've ever thought, my business only moves when I do everything, and I remember those days, thank God they're over, this episode is for you. By the end, you're going to know how to turn your genius into a curriculum and have an example of someone who actually did that. How to turn that curriculum into a sales team, because hello, wouldn't it be great to have a team of people selling for you? And how to turn that sales team into a scale team that does not depend on you posting and pitching all day by your lonesome. So if you're ready for that, just drop ready in the comments. I'm so glad to have you guys with me. And if you have not already, I want you to comment waitlist so we can give you the waitlist to join us at Black Women Sell Live, the only event on the planet that utilizes centuries old sales history to teach you how to sell today from your identity, not your insecurity. So stick with me to the end and you will walk away with a simple 3-step framework that you can use this week to package your process into a Poro style program. More on where that name came from later. Attract and train people who can actually sell with and for you, because that's critically important. And make your first Annie move, okay, toward building a company, not just a busier calendar. All right, so I'm really excited about this, and I think you all pretty much know who we're talking about now, but welcome to day 4 of Deleted History, 28 Black women millionaires they prayed you would never hear about. And I'm snitching all February about who they are and why you should be studying them and leveraging the strategies they used in unspeakable times to get wealthy now. I'm Ashley Kirkwood, founder of Speak Your Way to Cash. I have had $11 million in lifetime sales, been a multi-million-dollar company for the past several years, and a 2-time Inc. 5000 CEO, and started my company from scratch. I am sharing the story of a Black woman millionaire from before 1970 and pulling out the sales and scaling plays you can use right now in your business, and I am dedicated to doing this. We've talked about Mary Ellen Pleasant's capital strategy. That was day 1. We talked about Biddy Mason's real estate strategies. That was day 2. We even talked about Elizabeth Keckley's relationship capital and positioning. Now, if you don't know those names, go back and watch the other videos that I've done on this, and they're all on my YouTube channel and on the brand new Black Women Sell TV YouTube channel. Thank you all so much for subscribing. We are live because I want you to know that our history and our scaling strategies are not divorced. If you learn your identity, you're able to sell from power, not from insecurity. And if they could do it then, we could do it now, because we are not under the same pressures that they were under. And I'm not ignoring that we are under pressures. I'm not ignoring that the world is an unfair place. But is there anybody in the building who still wants to scale their business? If that's you, say me in the comments, okay? So today we are talking about the architect of the beauty industry, Miss Annie Turnbow Malone. What? Do y'all know Miss Annie? Do you all know Miss Annie? If not, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her story, then we're going to distill some principles that she teaches us. So Miss Annie Turnbow Malone was born in 1869 in Illinois, Chi-Town, stand up, that's where I'm from, to parents who had been enslaved. Now, she left high school early because of health issues, but she never stopped learning. She was absolutely obsessed with chemistry and with solving a problem that nobody else cared about. Healthy hair for Black women. Child, I'm going to my beautician today. So she cared about healthy hair for Black women, and y'all know we care about our hair. And this was in the era of Lyle burns and damaged scalps. She started in the most humble way possible, mixing formulas in her home, testing them out on friends and local women. She watched what worked and what didn't, and she iterated like a scientist and a founder rolled into one. Now, this reminds me a little bit of Mielle Organics. I know she talks about starting in her kitchen as well, and several other beauty brands have done the same. Annie's breakthrough was a line of hair care products that cleaned, conditioned, and promoted hair growth without destroying the scalp. Revolutionary at a time when the mainstream beauty industry straight up ignored us, didn't even acknowledge that we existed, and didn't even realize that we were actually a market. She called her brand Poro. So when I mentioned that name earlier, that's where that come from. Now, word started to spread. Customers loved the results. But here's the pivot. Annie realized quickly that if she personally tried to sell every single jar, she would always be capped by her own time and energy. Now, how many of y'all are right there today? How many of y'all realize what Annie realized decades ago? How many of y'all are just now realizing that? Okay, so she asked a different question. How do I get this product into thousands of homes without me having to be in every single living room? Now, I want you all to understand that the better questions you ask for your business, the more money you're gonna make. So here's what she discovered. She stopped thinking like a solo entrepreneur and started thinking like a college founder, meaning a school founder. Here's how she built her empire. Instead of just hiring a few sales reps, which would have been the slow way to grow, Annie created Poro College in St. Louis, a full-scale beauty school and training institution for Black women. Now, check this out. Have you all heard the concept 10x is better than 2x? Quantum leaping. Have you all heard those concepts? I want y'all to understand that because our history has been so buried under so many things, we hear these concepts that are re-released by white men, and we believe, oh my God, they came up with something novel. And I'm not saying that they didn't come up with nothing novel. Well, I'm saying that they ain't come up with nothing novel. What I'm saying is that Black women been innovating this. We've been talking about how like literally Annie sat down and she thought about, I don't want to grow incrementally. I want to grow exponentially, meaning I don't want to think about my business in the onesies and the twosies. I want to think about my business in the, how do I 10x? How do I 100x? How do I go further, faster? So if your mind works like that, hun, it's because it's in your DNA, okay? Let's keep going. So Poro College wasn't just about hair, okay? The school that she created offered training in hair science and product use, which was her core business, okay? But it also offered sales and marketing training. So even the concept that we are going to coach and share information with one another is not new. We're not new to this. We've been learning from one another. And in fact, before white folks would teach us, we were teaching each other. She talked about personal presentation, business etiquette, and even financial literacy in some accounts. Okay, so some historians. Now, one of the things I've realized in researching these women is that you'll find different accounts of what went down, because so often a lot of our ancestors did not have books. They did not have a self account of what they did and how they did it. So historians are piecing together information. So for anyone who's like, Ashley, I want to start learning more about this, I want to go on this journey, how do you piece it all together? You're going to read a variety of accounts, and then you're going to find the through line within them, and that's what I'm sharing with you guys, okay? So I want you all to just get into this good story, because it's so good. So when people graduated from her school, they did not walk away just with a certificate. They walked away as Poro agents, licensed to sell Annie's products in their own communities. She created a distribution network of thousands of Black women across the United States, across the Caribbean, and beyond. Her agents earned commissions, built client lists, and in many cases, y'all, opened their own salons and beauty parlors under her brand. Annie was building entrepreneurs, not just employees. Now, she could have just taught them this stuff and had them go on, but how dope was it that she taught them these things and then gave them a license to actually go out and sell her products? So they didn't even have to think about what their offer was, because not only did she teach them about hair care, she then taught them that when you're caring for the hair, this is the product that you're going to use, and this is how you're going to make money from it. So by the early 1920s, Poro's headquarters in St. Louis covered an entire city block with offices and auditorium, dining facilities, and dormitories, and her business was valued in the millions then, equivalent to over $100 million today. Are y'all hearing this? Like, are you hearing this? Okay. Incredible. So that's the difference, y'all, between I sell hair care products and I run an institution that trains and unleashes wealth builders. And it's also the difference for you between I'm a solopreneur versus I'm a CEO of a company. So here's the framework. When we think about the Poro scale system, that's what I named it. Y'all know I come up with frameworks for everything. Let's turn her story into a framework. Now, let's get into it, and I'm going to share my whiteboard for this. Okay. Number one, first thing you're going to need is a product that solves a problem. Okay, this is where she started. This is where you should start. Now, after you identify the product that solves a problem, you need to make sure the product actually works and is good. If you're not doing that, then you're going to miss out. So you have a product that solves a problem. After you have a product that actually solves a problem, she didn't start with like a cute brand, catchy slogan. No, no, no. She started with a solution to a painful problem. And there was room in the market for her solution because other people were ignoring the problem. So there was already a hair care industry, but it was ignoring a market that she could uniquely tap into. So you need to ask yourself, what is the painful, urgent problem that my offer solves? And it's obvious to my market that they need to solve the problem. So after you have the painful problem, you're going to ignore all that pretty stuff, cute website and all of that, but then you're going to create your curriculum that duplicates you. And this is where I don't see enough entrepreneurs taking action. You have a problem, it's good, but you don't have a curriculum, meaning you don't have a framework or a unique way to actually show others what you do. Annie could have stayed the star salesperson. Instead, she pulled her process out of her head and turned it into a curriculum, step-by-step methods, standards, and systems that anyone she trained could follow. So how do you start doing this for yourself? Well, you need to identify, okay, well, I'm a lawyer. You all know I'm a lawyer. So I had a law firm. One of the first things that we did after developing our offer was we secondarily knew that if we hired other lawyers to do the work, they would not know how to think about the law in the way that I think about the law. So I would sit down and I figured out, okay, when it came to contracts, when it came to trademarks, when it came to advising a client, what makes me unique? What is my exact process? And I would record myself going through the process, and then I distilled it down into a framework, and every associate that started at our law firm had to go through the Mobile General Counsel certification. And that certification taught them not to be a lawyer because they were already licensed, but it taught them how to be a lawyer at our firm. And honestly, I may be previewing something to y'all, but I ain't gonna preview it. I ain't gonna preview it. Gotta keep my trade secrets trade on that. But we have something that we're thinking about coming out with that may duplicate that so that other lawyers can actually leverage our process as well. Okay, that's all I'll say about it right now. But what she created was Poro College. It was a physical embodiment of her intellectual property. But now with the internet, you could have a digital embodiment of your intellectual property. You actually don't have to go through all the steps of having a physical building. But what is going to be your curriculum? What is your sales framework? What is your consulting method? What is your client delivery process? So you want to teach your method and not hoard it. And then you want to make sure you create a sales force that extends you. So you don't just stop at training. Now you want to have your own sales force. Who else is selling other than you? How can you create that sales force? Now, at the time that Annie was doing this, she didn't have access to like webinars, automated webinars, digital products, and things like that. I can tell you how we're implementing this and bringing this into modern day. While I was on a sabbatical, y'all, I took 40 days off. First off, can we get into, can y'all say congrats in the comments? Because I just feel like Black women resting is revolutionary within itself. People love our labor. They love us being the angry Black woman, the stressed woman, all the things. But we tell somebody, no, I took 40 days off to travel around the world. You should have seen people's faces when I was saying it. They was like, what? What do you do? I do what the Lord put me on earth to do, okay? So I took 40 days off. But while I was off, sales did not stop and could not stop. So I actually had my team leverage the intellectual property assets that I've used in the past to host live launches without me even being there. They replayed my webinars, they replayed my launches, and they were in the chat closing people, leveraging what I'd already built. Who else besides you can sell? They used our frameworks and our processes, and they brought in $65,000 of new revenue while I was on a plane and facilitated another $100,000 in new revenue by making sure that all the processes happened when people reached out and asked me to speak and do all of that. And then they still protected about $250,000 of recurring revenue. So while we were out, our company was still growing, and that was all in 30 days' time. So one of the things that I want you all to think about is not, because this is why, let me tell y'all why a lot of us do not scale. We don't scale because we're stressed at this level, and we think of scale as being stressed at a bigger level. And that does not have to be the case if you learn how to have other people selling for you. Now, what I love about Annie's story that I have not implemented yet, but I'm going to, is having an entire sales force of people that you train to sell your product so they can get wealthy from the offers that you've created. And can I make an announcement right now? If I can, just drop a yes in the comments because I have a big announcement right now. One of the things that we're doing in honor of learning these strategies from Annie is we are launching the Black Women Sales Army. Do y'all want to know what that is? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Thank you. I know so many people are asking. Thank you. Yes, thank you for the applause. Okay, so we're launching the Black Women Sales Army. Boom, thank you. It deserves a little commotion for the noise effects, right? So the Black Women Sales Army is going to be an army of Black women who really believe in the mission of Black Women Sell Live, which is to teach every single Black woman entrepreneur how to scale her business, leveraging the historical examples that we have of millionaires in our field. And so if you're in the Black Women Sales Army, you'd be able to sell tickets to our event, Black Women Sell Live, and we will give you 10% of all ticket sales that come in, just from you sharing it. And if you're interested in that, comment Army underneath this video, and we will give you insight into how you can do that. We're gonna train you on sales, give you all the assets, and literally, just by sharing an event that you're already coming to or want to come to, you will make money every time someone buys a ticket using your link. So I think that's dope. Like, our team is really in the process right now of setting it up. I think that we should set a goal of putting at least $100,000 back into the hands of people who support this company, just from you guys sharing something you would have shared anyways. Like, I really appreciate everyone who shared these videos, everyone who shares our stuff consistently and who supports us. And y'all have been asking us via email for a long time, can we launch an affiliate program? We finally got the tech together and we're gonna launch it. And I'm gonna be training y'all on how to sell. And what's dope is when you get our sales training for how to sell the tickets, you can leverage that sales training for how to sell all of your other offers as well. Does that sound good? Okay, because here's the thing, okay. I'm so excited about this. Okay, here's the thing. I put my money where my faith is, and I booked a venue that holds 1,000 women, y'all. I have never had an event in America, because my events in Ghana be cracking low-key. But, like, I've never had an event in America where 1,000 Black women experts came. But I'm like, I got 65,000 on my list, 150,000 on Instagram. We have the ability to get 1,000 Black women in the room. And do you know what people told me? They told me we can't do it. No one cares about history. They're not interested in scaling. They're going to make excuses. They won't buy tickets. They won't invest in themselves. And I know for a fact that is a bald-faced lie. I think we should just shut the industry up with this one, sell this event out at the end of this month, and wash our hands of it. So if you will help me with that mission, please do, because Annie paved the way. And I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing. Like, we're gonna do the exact same thing. So you wanna build your own sales force. That's critically important. And then there is one thing that I want you to understand is, like, after you're building your sales force, where we at? Yeah, we'll keep it at that. So one, you wanna have a product that solves a painful problem. You want to have curriculum. You want to have a sales force. Now, if I were to add anything to this that we learned from her that's not on here right now, it's like a hidden step. One of the things that you saw that she did was this: market research. She tested her product on people. Okay, and you need to do the same. Okay? So here's how you make an Annie move in the next 7 days. Step one, you're gonna name your offer. Identify an offer that gets consistent, repeatable results that you be proud to put your name on. Then you wanna commit to treating that as your main offer, your signature offer that you build around, not just something you sell on the side. Then you want to outline a mini curriculum. Open a Google Doc or grab your whiteboard and outline a simple training path, you guys, a simple training path to how someone else can get value out of what you know. You want to answer the question of how they can get the results based on the way you think about the problem. Then after that, we want to think about how are we going to sell this and how can you get other people to help you sell it so that it is good for you and also very good for them, okay? So we went through a lot of information yet. You don't have to launch a full college to get started with this. You just need to prove to yourself that what you do can actually be taught to others. Now, there's a lot of misinformation out there about the coaching industry, and I'm actually a licensed lawyer, which is why we predominantly work with licensed experts to teach them how to sell and market, because our obligations are different. There's a lot of bad actors in our industry. Can we just keep it a buck with that. And that keeps good actors from entering the industry. But there is a way to ethically sell information, to teach people practically how to grow, how to scale, how to go to the next level. And let me tell you something. The same way people say, oh my God, there's so many bad politicians out there, I'm not gonna go into politics because all the politics are crooks. Have you ever considered that maybe you need to go into politics because you're not a crook? Have you considered that maybe you need to go into teaching what you know because you will do it ethically, because you will care about clients, because you will help them get results, because they're not gonna log in and nothing actually be in your portal? You're going to put your all into it. You're actually called to do it. Like, don't let the fact that there are some bad actors keep you from growing and scaling in an industry that you could actually be great at, okay? So I hope you all got some value from this. Annie Turnbow Malone didn't just build a brand. She built an institution, a curriculum, and a community of Black women who earned commissions, opened salons, and created financial independence under the Poro banner. She literally showed us that your product can be more than a product. It can be a profession for other people. Your knowledge can be more than what you sell. It can be infrastructure that scales you. If you love this business lesson and you're like, okay, Ashley, this was so good, I want to go further, I want to go deeper, you must get on the wait list for Black Women Sell Live. So just comment waitlist or go to blackwomensellavent.com. You guys, we're opening up tickets to the wait list first on February 25th. We moved up the date we were going to open tickets to the wait list. Let me tell you what's about to happen. We already have hundreds of people on this wait list, okay? Hundreds of people are on this wait list. We only have 1,000 tickets nationwide. And we have not even started running ads yet. And I haven't shown y'all the commercial that we spent a grip on getting it made. So you're gonna join the wait list for the ticket type that you want. And then when tickets open on February 25th, 7 a.m., you're gonna do it. Now, if you decide to join the wait list, right after you go through this page, you'll see a second page. That second page will say, hey, do you wanna get off the wait list a little bit early? Now, our events last year all sold out. So some people who were on the wait list wanted to guarantee they got a spot, okay? So what they did was they applied to get off the wait list a little bit early. We read the applications and we choose a select group of people to get their tickets at 7 a.m. before everyone else on the wait list gets there so they can buy their ticket and make sure they get a spot. Buy your ticket, tell your friends, choose whichever ticket type works for you, and be at Black Women Sell Live. It's really gonna be revolutionary and life-changing. I hope you all got value out of this. I'm so passionate about this work and I cannot wait to serve so many of you in person in Atlanta, Georgia, September 25th to the 27th, 2026. Now, some people are like, oh my God, it's so early. Why would I buy my ticket now? I don't know what I'll be doing in September. You won't, if you wait till September, it will 100% be sold out. I actually have a vision of this event selling out this month. And I don't see any reason why that won't happen. For years, people have been asking, because we only do this event every other year. So people have been asking me, like, when are you dropping the tickets to Black Women Sell Live? I'm coming. It changed my life. It changed everything about how I operate. This is our third one. And I really see this being like the Essence Fest for Black women entrepreneurs. It's going to be so much bigger than an event. And I can't announce the speakers yet, but just know, you know how I'm covering all of these legends and women who made millions of dollars in the 1950s and 1970s? All I can say, no spoilers yet, is that we have several confirmations from descendants of these women who are gonna show up and share stuff that the history books couldn't write. I don't wanna get emotional about it, but like, I don't think people realize that what we're doing has never been done, and it is making history in a way that it's never been made and bridging the gap across generations in a way that this generation desperately needs. We desperately need to hear from our elders. We desperately need to be learning the history of our ancestors, and we desperately need to know where we should be focusing our attention in a distraction generation. And this is somewhere where you should focus your attention. So I hope to see all of you at Black Women Sell Live. Thank you for rocking with me today, y'all. I hope you are enjoying this series. We're gonna keep giving y'all some fire. I have to research these women myself every single day. I'm reading about their stories. I'm leveraging it. I'm buying all their books. And for years, I've been doing this all to create something that would revolutionize the way we do entrepreneurship in this generation. And I would love your support with just sharing the word, because it's not only going to change a lot of lives individually. I am praying and believing that this is going to change the generation for us. Like, if we get a generation of women who know who we are, it will change the game. I don't care what's going on in White House, and I do care what's going on in the White House. I think it's a hot mess. But even with that hot mess over there, we can do stuff in our homes, in our cities, and in our towns to really change the game. And that is exactly what our ancestors did when they didn't know what was going on with their time. And that's exactly what we need to do right now is stay focused on the force that comes from being in flow and knowing who you are. I'll see y'all tomorrow.